Hello, everybody. This week, we're coming at you with 4 reviews. We got the new movie Arkansas. We got Overlord from 2018, Empire Dreams from 2004, the Star Wars documentary, and American Ultra from 2015. This episode, my co-hosts, they've been inside for too long, so they were a little rowdy, and I couldn't keep control over them. So I just want to apologize for going off subject a little bit in this episode, but I'm not going to edit it. And if you have a problem with that, this is your warning. So there you have it, and you have a beautiful day. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Movie Toast, home of the Movie Toast. Can I take your order? How'd I... What the fuck? Hold on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You just took my fucking catchphrase.
Oh, that was good, though. It was.
I turned on Siri on accident, and then she was like, I don't know what Movie Toast is.
I know. Are you looking for a cinema toast crunch?
Siri doesn't know.
No, I'm not trying to plug a rival podcast.
So apparently the only people who don't know what movie toast, how to find movie toast is Siri and Tommy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Jeez.
she thought it was one word, so she's obviously stupid. Anyway,
I
everybody.
highly suggest that you redo this so you don't have to edit that out. But
I was just going to
that's
do the
just
whole
me.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
This
It's not like you, Adam. He's going to keep it all raw.
I'm a Cortana guy myself. Anyway,
Oh my.
so
Cortana, what is this? 2008?
is this a joke?
Is Cortana even a thing anymore?
I don't know. Let me check my PC. 1 second. I'm on my Mac. Oh, the screen's on the Mac. I got 4 monitors. They're all on the Mac right now.
What do you do with 4 monitors? You watch like 4 different porns at once? Not
No.
once, but once.
No, but you can watch your porn and your calendar. Text your friends. Watch the stock market. Have your movies over here. Email.
You know, that sounds like
Finder
ADD
windows.
to me.
Hello and welcome to Porn at Lunch. We've got your host.
Let's
No,
just do an
okay.
episode where we don't talk about anything.
We keep
That's
building
what's
up to
not.
it, but it never happens.
Yeah, it's just
And then we call ourselves Cinema Toast Crunch. We're like, hey, thanks for listening. Rate us on iTunes. Apparently that's better than Movie Toast.
And then when we end, then I close all 9 tabs I have open, ready to go.
Well, if you had 9 fucking monitors like Corey, you'd be all set.
I only got 4, but okay.
No, if I had 4, I'd have 2
Okay.
tabs per monitor.
Okay,
You can't do
okay,
more
we
than
can-
4.
Yeah, I'm
without
just
having
waiting to see how long it takes before Dennis explodes over
multiple
here.
Need more
GPUs.
Yeah, I was about to say, you need more graphics cards.
Yeah. But you know, should we start or?
Let's do
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
we could.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Movie Toast. All that bullshit staying in, and I'm here on a reviews episode once again with my.
Don't you fucking tank this show.
This is awesome.
This is great, dude. What are you talking about?
This is all going to be the long crawl before the fucking theme
The
song kicks
opener.
in.
Nah, I'm not even gonna do an opener. I'm just
Don't
gonna
fuck
go
with our
right
audience.
into- I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
they don't.
right
They want to
into
listen to the
music,
fucking
and then
Ghostbusters song,
I
all
go
right?
right into the music. Adam, you can't tell the viewing audience that is the Ghostbusters.
I'm pretty sure they're not idiots.
That-
Tommy didn't fool anybody with his technology wizard
Wow.
music face.
Adam's on
Okay.
a roll, man.
There's-
He's attacking 2 of us now.
New band name.
Dennis, you're
Technology,
up next.
Technology Wizard Face. That's my new band name. Technology Wizard
I'll go
Face.
for myself too. I'll get all 4 of us by the end of the show.
Wow. Okay, so I'm here trying to start this reviews podcast with my co-host. I was gonna do a breakfast cereal theme. It's just over. Like
We've shit all of that time away,
Yeah.
sir.
If you don't know
Tommy-
who we are,
Tommy,
well,
talk
nobody
talk
does.
about your Fruit Loops, and then
What's your favorite color Fruit Loop, Tommy?
He's muted because he's laughing too hard. And then Adam, you could be the Lucky Charms.
Yeah, can I switch that to Count Chocula? Because I'm probably gonna have diet.
You
Oh
should
my
know.
god,
You
dude!
You should have known it should have been Count Chocula. I would have said.
Yeah.
I could have told you that.
He's
Should've
a
been
cool
Count
guy.
Chocula.
Fine, your Count
Can I be
Chocula.
Golden
Thank you.
Grams?
I just didn't know if this was going to make it to air, so
Guess what, Corey? I'm not going to ask you to change whatever it is you pick for me.
Hey,
you
you stop being a bitch, Dennis. You fucking stand up for yourself and say you want to be Toucan
you
Sam.
could be Cinnamon Toast Crunch because that'd make you better than us.
Wait, can I now change it? Can I be the fucking burglars on the old fucking Cookie Crisp commercials?
No,
Oh my
no.
goodness.
I take back everything I said. I'm the Captain Crunch.
Oh, you're the captain now, Dennis?
Because you and the captain make it happen.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. I figured I might as well jump in on the dog
I
pile.
liked the old dog on the old.
Yeah, he was a
two
badass.
dogs.
The burglar dog?
Yeah, the regular dog. That was like
Why?
fat.
Whatever happened to him? Let's
There used to be
just
two.
figure this out.
There's
Yeah,
two
there
of
used to
them.
be. Yeah, there was a cop that chased him.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was two dogs and a cop.
Yeah.
You guys, is this movie toast or is this cereal toast?
Is it Cinnamon
this is
Toast
cereal
Cinema
crunch, right?
Toast Crunch? It's Cinema Toast Crunch.
Honestly, this is some of our best material ever. So if you don't like this, I'm
Probably.
sorry, guys.
So Toasters, we do have reviews, but we will mix them in with our cereal talk. I
Oh,
have
my
to
goodness.
say, does anyone remember the classic Berry Berry Kicks?
Batman
You
series?
thought it was gonna be you thought it was gonna be a movie. I'm at Berry Berry Kicks.
Oh.
No. What
Wait,
is that?
did
I
you think
remember
we were
Berry
gonna?
Berry
You said
Kicks.
Berry. You think you're talking about Barry Berenson from the Country Bears?
What?
No,
Adam,
Okay.
because I
what
never
the-
saw that terrible movie.
Ah.
That was all right.
Is that the 2006 release? The live
That was like
action
2002.
Yeah.
or whatever, based off
That was
the
back when
ride.
Haley
that
Joel
got-
Osment was like hot and young.
the ride.
Now
got
he
replaced.
looks like me.
No, Berry Berry Kicks was
The
great.
ride, it was. Thank you, Tommy.
It was all
The
right.
ride wasn't even replaced. They just turned the lights off in all the racist parts. Like,
What? I thought they turned it into Winnie the Pooh.
no, Splash Mountain. It's all there. You just gotta look in the
Mountain's
shadows.
there. I thought we were talking about Country Bear Jam.
Yeah.
Isn't that what? Never mind.
No,
No,
you're talking about Song of the
you're talking about
South,
Song of the South.
Song of the
which
South,
we
yeah,
already
yeah.
had a whole episode about. Did we?
Yeah.
Did that ever come out? I don't know.
I don't know. It's a good movie. People should watch it. And then wait.
Can you see it anywhere?
Can I say that?
Yeah, you just did. Apparently, we're not editing this. So yeah, you can watch it on YouTube. You can watch Uncle Remus and the gang. The posters are pretty badass. For
If
it.
you're not, I mean, I'm just gonna dig a deeper hole. I mean, I
Why don't you make that
high-
a review? Just make that your first review. Let's
I have a
review Song of the
high
South.
tolerance for intolerant things, so I just watch anything. So that's why I liked it. I guess I don't know. Easy to
I like
please
that
over
honesty.
here.
What cereal are you? We never got to that.
Oh,
Are you Tony the Tiger?
I'm
Are
a
you?
box- I'm
Lucky
a bo-
Charms?
I'm a box
You
of
were-
Pop Tarts.
Pop-Tarts?
That's not even a cereal. What
Nice
flavor
move.
Pop Tarts?
Oh my
Did
goodness.
you say fucking cinnamon, brown sugar cinnamon?
I have a brown sugar cinnamon.
Oh,
box
you
of
piece of
Pop-Tarts.
shit! You wish you were.
So
Oh my goodness.
let's try one more time, huh? Let's try let's
box
try
of
to
cereal?
do a review.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's
we're
do
only
it.
10 minutes in.
Let's try. Yeah, we can do it.
We got this.
Um
We're
Be
professionals.
concise. Be concise, folks.
okay.
Tommy,
So
I'm kidding.
welcome to
Hey,
Movie
don't be a
Toast,
dick, Dennis.
everybody. I'm here with my three co-hosts. I think that have been in coronavirus lockdown for too long because they are having a
Slap
great
happy.
time. But we got 4 movies for you. We're gonna do a review, and then I'm gonna actually put the reviews in first, and then I'm gonna put all 10 minutes of all the bullshit we just did
Oh,
at
no.
the end.
Oh,
of the
it's
podcast.
gold.
That's
Stay. It's
great.
not bullshit. It's good stuff.
Well, I'm
Oh,
just gonna put
man.
it at the end, and I'm not gonna
Yeah.
edit any of it in case people want to listen. But if they
You have the
don't want to
freedom to
listen,
turn it off
you know,
as soon as
turn
the
it off
reviews are
right
over.
after the
Yeah.
reviews.
The uncooked toast. The raw.
So,
Rob Red.
Burnt
Rob
toast.
anyway, it's a reviews episode, and the 4 of us are coming at you with a film that we watched. We're trying to keep it fresh despite coronavirus. Hopefully, you're watching some movies and not just a bunch of Tiger King TV because TV sucks. I'm Corey.
Oh.
You can write me your complaints for what I just said. And Adam, why don't you start us off with
Well,
what you saw this week?
I'm gonna say you should probably watch Quibi. I mean, you watch a whole series while you're taking a shit. But all right, I'll start off with this movie Arkansas. It's Clark Duke from Sex Drive, The Office. Guess he was on some ABC Family. If you don't know Clark Duke, I don't gotta explain to
Hot
you. It
Tub
doesn't matter.
Time Machine.
Yes, he's the young man who's related to John Cusack. So, anyways, he directs this movie. This is his directorial debut as a feature film director. He did what it doesn't fucking matter. So pretty much, this is not a comedy because he's known for comedy, and he's in this movie with what is it, Liam Hemsworth? I guess he's not comedy, but the big bad guy in this movie. Well, he's not really that bad or big. He's big. He's tall. Is Vince Vaughn?
Oh, God, wow.
And
Jeez, that
and
took
John
forever.
Malkovich. He's in here. So
Yeah.
pretty much, it's about
Whoa! You're forgetting about Eden Brolin, Josh
Who?
Brolin's daughter.
Oh,
I don't fucking know who she is.
She's the main girl.
That's his daughter. Well, yeah. Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, no one else probably did either. That's why. I
Did
listen to
you
the
did you know
podcast.
that the guy? Hey, spoiler alert! The guy, I'll just say the grandson. Did you know that's Clark Duke's brother?
Oh, I did not.
I know it
Yeah.
now.
I was wondering how they found that guy. Okay.
Right? He was pretty good. That guy, that character.
Was he
So-
good? Was he?
Well, I mean, I'm like, what the fuck's going on with this guy? Where'd they find him? And that
That's
makes
the question
sense.
I asked too.
Yeah. So you saw this movie too, but
I did,
pretty-
but it's your movie.
all right, but you
Yeah.
can always jump.
There's
in.
another guy in it named Chandler Duke. He must be related.
That's
and
what we're
younger
talking
brother?
about right now.
It's written
That's
and
who-
directed by. Okay.
Yeah, this is based on, it's an adaptation. Here's what the movie is about, all right? There's so many things going on in this movie. Not really, but there's a couple of things. So pretty much there's these two guys, Liam Hemsworth and Clark Duke. They both are like drug runners, and they're moving up to the big leagues. They're working kind of under this mysterious kingpin known as Frog. Is it Frog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Frog, played by Vince Vaughn, and they don't know who he is. But John Malkovich is he's kind of in charge of them. He's the big guy under Frog. And when something terrible happens, these guys kind of improvise and shit goes down. And Clark Duke breaks the rules. He falls for a girl. He gets the girl pregnant, and yeah, I'm not selling this movie very well,
No,
but it's a
it's like
really good movie.
I'm intrigued.
It's like you flash forward, you flash back, you see Vince Vaughn. He was just running a pawn shop. It wasn't going very good. A guy brought in like bootleg not even CDs, bootleg cassette tapes, and he's like, "You're gonna sell these?" And he's like, "All right." He's like, "I sold them all." Then like he brings in some other stuff, and then he's like, "Hey, you're gonna just someone's gonna come pick up this bag." And it turns out to be drugs, and he turns out to be a very good drug smuggler himself. And he builds up an empire. And he's in Arkansas. Shit, it's an action-packed movie. I'm sorry, guys. I'm very tired. It's been a stressful week, but this is a good movie. It's strong. It's a first movie for the director Clark Duke, like I just said. I feel like it's a pretty good movie. I don't know. Corey, you want to save my ass here?
Yeah, sure. I'll step in and disagree
Thank
with you entirely. I, did not
I knew you'd do this, you shithead. I know. It's good.
No,
Can
no.
I be honest with you? There was a little gap. I fell asleep watching this movie. But
That
I
happens
know
all
what
the
happens
time.
at the end. I know what happened in the beginning. I know what happened in the middle. I just missed a little bit.
No, the actually, so I sat there and I watched it, and when I started it, I thought to myself, I didn't know that Clark Duke directed it when I went in. I'm a Clark Duke fan, and his acting. So I watched it, and when I first started it, I said, "What is this Coen Brothers knockoff bullshit? Baby back ribs. I don't like it." And then I started to, and then the very strange chapters that didn't.
Yep. I felt like it was like a Tarantino knockoff with all that shit.
I didn't know
Oh.
what once that started happening, then I was like, I'm gonna stick with this whole movie and see if there's something at the end. By the end of the movie, I was invested in the movie, which, what does that say? I mean, it didn't blow me away.
You've spent this
It
much
kept
time
your
watching it, you might
entertainment.
as well see what
But it was-
happens.
But when I was done with it, I wasn't disappointed that I had watched it. I was actually glad that I had
Okay.
watched it. I took away some
Mhm.
very interesting things. Like, I mean, parts of it are wholly unoriginal, and then parts of it are very original. Something weird
Interesting.
that doesn't come along that often. Like something like, remember like Brigsby Bear? I think that's what it was
Oh,
called.
great fucking movie.
Yeah. Just weird things like that are just, anyway, I'm not doing it
But I like
injustice,
Brigsby
and I
better
don't
than
want
No,
to
I was about to
spoil
say
it.
the both of you have honestly
You-
sold
there-
me on it.
There's
I
a lot
want
of
to watch
stuff
this
that
movie now.
there's a lot of stuff that happens that we're trying to dance around, and it's hard to explain
Yeah.
without spoiling it.
You know what's funny is I can tell from the way you're describing it, you're trying to say something, but that's not bothering me at all. It's like, well, fuck, now I just need to see what connects all of these dots because the components sound very intriguing. I'm always been interested in that type of subject matter. I've liked this TV series Narcos, and I like those kinds of stories being told and stuff. So I'm on board.
My
Yeah.
favorite part of the movie, there's a scene where Frog's learning the ropes. They go to like this one person's house to do a deal, and it turns out they're like, oh, after the deal happens, his trainer is like the guy he's working under. It's like, oh, we're gonna stay here. We're gonna watch a movie. They sit there and watch Toxic Avenger. I'm like, this is pretty fucking odd, and I love that.
That's funny.
Yeah, I was trying to put in. Well, I was thinking why I liked it. It's weird, but every
Mhm.
single main character plays the protagonist and the antagonist, and they
In their
kind
own
of
story.
in their own story,
Oh.
and they when they're the protagonist in their story, they become the antagonist in somebody else's, and so you're
Hmm.
watching it from like 4 different points of view, and at the end, it all kind of comes together, but. You really do got to get into that, which involves you sitting through Liam Hemsworth in the very beginning. He does a good job. I made it just sound like he did a bad
You know
job.
what really threw me off? He has a limp in this movie.
Yeah, that wasn't ever
I didn't
explained.
get that.
I don't know what that
It's
was.
not in the trivia either. Sorry.
But anyway, I liked it. Did you have anything else to add about it, Adam, before Tommy does his tidbits?
No, I mean, if you want to hear more about this, you should listen to Adam Green and Joe Lynch's podcast, Movie Crypt. Clark Duke goes on there and talks all about this, and it's based on a novel. I'd say it's a Yellow Light.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I would have liked to seen it in theaters. This kind of like grind of a film that you
Mm.
have
Oh,
to
nice.
sit through is better in theaters. And I watched
Yeah,
it
with
at
an
home.
audience.
Yeah, I would have rather seen it in theaters.
Yeah,
But
okay.
anyway, Tommy, is there any tidbits?
There's 5 of them, but 3 of them are stinkers. The
Stinkers.
first one, the one that's not a stinker, Clark Duke is originally from Arkansas, so that's kind of
Okay.
interesting. And then it says here Carl Duke, I think they mean Clark, wears a different professional wrestling T-shirt each day. So every
Really?
time you see him in a shirt, it's a different professional wrestling shirt.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, those tidbits, honestly,
Don't say that's interesting. None of those are interesting.
No, they were those were
He
the
said
most
they were
interesting
stinkers.
of the stinkers.
the movie needs to
Stinkers.
gestate a little bit before it
does.
gets its
It
good
definitely
trivia.
does.
It's too
Yeah.
new. Came
That's
out
true.
like this week or something.
Yeah.
So all they know is what Clark Duke has said on his press junket. But anyway, so Tommy, why don't you just go on with what you saw this week?
All righty. So the movie I watched, it came out in 2004. You can watch it on Disney Plus. It's called Empire of Dreams: The Story of the Star Wars Trilogy. It's a documentary, and it's basically an in-depth making of documentary style of the original Star Wars trilogy. It covers everything, and you get to see special behind the scene footage, interviews that you probably never would have seen before, interviews with Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher. They have Harrison Ford in there. There's so many really, really, really cool interviews with these guys, and they go into stuff that you would never have known. Like Harrison Ford wasn't the original Han Solo. He was just in there to read the auditions with the other actors that were auditioning for the roles, and then George Lucas noticed that, he's actually, Harrison Ford's a really good actor. He has really good chemistry with Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill, and we should just go. he does go into why he didn't want Harrison Ford, because he wanted Star Wars to be a bunch of actors no one's heard of, and Harrison Ford was in
American Graffiti.
American Graffiti,
American
and
Graffiti, yep.
so he was
Yeah, he-
well established at that time.
He didn't want any of his old graffiti actors in it.
And they
Mhm.
go into how they chose Obi-Wan because they
Alec
needed.
Guinness?
Yeah, they realized that the Obi-Wan Kenobi character needed to be someone that was a veteran, even though he didn't want any named actors and stuff. He's like, no, we got to get a seasoned veteran in there. And they got Sir Alec Guinness. And he pretty much like, the A New Hope, they talk about how dreadful it was filming that movie in the beginning. Like the first however many weeks they were in like the African desert filming the scenes on Tatooine, and everyone on the set was just anything that could go wrong was going wrong. Robots were malfunctioning, actors were complaining about the heat, and who was on set to kind of keep everyone together? Alec Guinness. He was the one that was motivating people, and he stayed professional throughout the entirety of the shoot, and everyone was just like, yeah, he kept this thing going. And
So the whole movie is a Tommy's tidbits or Tommy's trivia.
well, I was telling Dennis that earlier.
On
There
Star
there
Wars.
is no trivia I mean, there is a trivia section, but there's only 2 items on the trivia section, because anything that would be in the trivia section is in the documentary.
Yeah,
What a twist.
I've actually seen this one. It's actually very good.
Oh, it's
And,
amazing.
I also recommend it to anybody who's seen it.
One of the
Wants-
things
who
though
wants to
that
see it.
they pointed out in there, which I found to be kind of actually pretty interesting, the guy that they got for to be the stand-in Darth Vader, David Prowse, on set, no one told him that they were going to use what's his name,
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones.
Yeah, but they
voice.
didn't know they were
Yeah.
going to do that at that point.
But George Lucas knew they were going to use someone else's voice, but no one ever told David Prowse. So
Yeah.
when he was on set and he was doing the dialogue, like he was a trained actor on in like theater and stuff, and so he was giving it like his 100% acting and his delivery and everything, and he just was assumed that, oh, they're going to have me go in and do voiceover ADR and stuff, and they never did, and that led to a strained relationship, and it got to the point where he actually was banned from attending official Star Wars fan conventions in the future.
Wow,
Boom! I just led you into one of the 2 tidbits that they have in the trivia section.
nice. Well, I don't want to.
Anyways,
We're
yeah.
strapped on time, and
Yeah.
it's a pretty good film, but I don't want to.
Green light. Yeah,
Yeah, it's-
if you have Disney Plus, if you know someone
Nice.
has Disney Plus, look it up, watch it. If you're a big fan of Star Wars, even if you're a little fan of Star Wars, it's really fascinating. Watch it.
I'm gonna put in one thing here. I have a theory, totally whatever, non-substantiated.
Yeah.
But Alec Guinness, I think that George Lucas is just a big fan of Lawrence of Arabia, and that's why he grabbed him.
Well,
'Cause
that
you're
and just just that caliber and that section of British actors. Because you look at oh my god, I've been trying to fucking think of his name without looking it up.
Peter Cushing?
Plays
No.
Grand Moff Tarkin.
Peter Cushing.
Peter Cushing. Yes, thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you said it.
Okay, thank you. I'm like, did my mic go?
You're no. You're yeah. Sorry,
You beat me to it, but I said it louder.
Peter Cushing was the
That should go on a
yeah,
shirt.
He was fucking awesome. Oh god, that could be my shirt.
You beat me to it, but I said it louder.
That's gonna be on my epitaph.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Say sorry. I'm sorry, Dennis.
No, I was just Peter Cushing. Toasters, if you're not familiar, if you've only seen him in Star Wars, he had been in a shitload of horror movies before that.
Van
Like
Helsing.
a lot of awesome B-list British horror movies. If you only have freaking antenna, check out Comet TV. He's in a fucking million movies that are on that channel. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
Oh, and one last thing, because Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill were the young ones on set. Those 2 never knew this before. They were pranksters on set. They would do pranks and try to get people when you like, kind of like what Jackass would do in their movies, where they would prank people, but it would make it into the film. They would do that off screen just to fuck with people, and I thought that was hilarious. Anyways, that's all I got to say about the
sweet. Well, yeah, definitely a green light for that one. I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Some dead air here.
I'm marveling at your beard right now. It's pretty majestic.
It is an epic beard.
I can't
Toasters,
stop
you should
looking at
see
it.
this beard.
Thanks.
He says he's going to shave it. No.
Oh, don't shave it.
You're wrong.
Keep it,
You're
man.
right.
No, you got to
It's
keep
going to
it.
be gone. It's too itchy.
Just
But anyway,
the longer you keep it, the less itchy it'll get.
I don't look good in a beard. Tommy. I mean,
Yeah.
not Tommy. You already went.
Yeah,
Tommy, what's your second movie of the night?
Tommy, you want to hand it off to the next?
Dennis, I believe you're next in line for.
Well, Dennis,
Reviews?
what do you got for us? All right.
Yeah.
Hey,
Whoa,
guys,
did you just
so
steal a Tommy thing?
I don't know.
That's like Tommy's thing,
I'm
where he's
just-
like, "Well, thanks for asking. Nobody asked me, but I'm gonna tell you."
Oh,
That's
I
great.
guess so. I don't know. I'm just talking. I'm going crazy. Stuck in the air. So
You beat me to it, but I said it louder.
Yeah, there you go. All right, guys. The movie I'm bringing to the table is Overlord. I believe that is a 2017 release,
18.
produced by 2018, produced by
Wow.
J.J. Abrams. It is starring a whole lot of folks that you probably wouldn't recognize their faces immediately. Yeah, some people. I mean, I did, but I feel like a lot of people didn't when the movie came out. Kurt Russell's son, one of the stars of the movie.
Whoa.
And
Wyatt. His name's
Yes.
Wyatt. That's funny.
Wyatt, yep.
Wyatt,
and
I said it louder. Sorry.
and I heard you, which I have to say it's funny because I feel like there's scenes in the movie where you're seeing a guy doing a Kurt Russell impression, but that's not what's happening. He's just that's his genetic material. Like
That's funny.
it was a fun movie. It was one of those where I wanted to see it when it came out in theaters. I know it got lukewarm reviews, but the subject matter was I was all in it. It was all stuff that I was about. I liked monster movies, horror movie stuff, and I like World War II stuff. So I was invested. Yeah, I only just watched this yesterday, so still fairly fresh in my mind. The first 30 minutes of the movie is all a rock solid World War II movie. The film or the film title comes immediately from Operation Overlord, which is the code name for the D-Day invasion by Allied forces, and we are specifically following this group of paratroopers who are supposed to be dropped behind German lines, trying to disable a communication tower to allow Allied bombers onto shore to help the invasion force come in. What they don't know is they're all have been scattered across this French forest nearby this small French village where a German scientist has been experimenting on the local villagers. And that I will say, although I mentioned that quick, it takes some time to get to that point. I want to say it starts to slow down a little bit by the hour mark, and it's a good half an hour before you see, as I mentioned, first half hour is a solid World War II movie. By that point, we have the turn, and we finally see like the first monster face. Like you see that first sliver of it being something else.
But it's still riveting getting to that point.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Like
the
you're
movie's
waiting
intense.
for it to happen, but then you kind of forget for a second. You're like, oh,
Exactly.
okay.
They do a good job of the movie stays at a really high pace. It's really intense. You're still being reminded of what the end goal is. We got to blow up the tower. We got to blow up the tower. And going into it, I knew what type of movie it was, but you kind of get lulled into all of the action that it's presenting for you for a little bit. And then you get hit with all the other stuff. As I mentioned, about an hour in, I feel like it slows down the pacing somewhat. I think it's to try to ramp it up again. There is a turning point where I feel like it is much more a solid horror movie than World War II movie anymore. So it's like this gradient across the whole movie. Starts off fully World War II pick, ends, I'd say the last 10 minutes goes back to World War II movie, but before that, it is living in a horror universe that is really cool. I totally kept thinking to myself, if they were to ever make a Wolfenstein movie, this is the closest it probably ever could get, because We are getting all of the same tones. We are hitting all of the same points. We have the crazy scientist. We have the German officer who's just fucking, he's gung ho for the 1,000-year Reich and all that shit. We have the underserviced Allied forces who have all the odds against him, but are going to make the mission work, given what meager means they have available to them. That I love that kind of story already, but throwing in all the horror elements was just fucking entertaining. One of the marks against it. Now, I will preface this with, I was listening to the movie on headphones, so that might be how I came about this. But the sound design kind of took me out of some of the scenes. It did this. The movie did this weird thing where I feel like I heard this odd music fade whenever dialogue started. That they would have some epic music playing. Some scene transition was really cool, and then an actor would start talking, and then you just hear all the music drop out of the back really fast, and it just took me out of the scene for a second or two. Just kept reminding me that was, it was a movie, obviously. And I guess I should have seen this getting into the genre of movie it was. There are a few corny dialogue lines that I think should be expected of this type of action movie and stuff. It just reaches a certain level of intensity where I forget we even need that kind of thing. And then every once in a while, somebody says something kind of ridiculous, and then I was like, huh, okay, really? But I can shrug that off. I personally am okay with that. It is definitely for a certain kind of movie fan. One of my favorite parts was about an hour and a half in. We're getting to one of the last scenes. The last set. I wish I could have worked on building that set because it is fucking cool. The Nazi bunker full of all this crazy lab equipment with the bags, the bodies hanging in them, and we have the tar pit in the middle, and the zombie fight, the zombie versus zombie fight. I will only describe it like that. That was cool. It didn't last long, but it was justified. I was like, okay, this is some badass stuff.
Yeah, I saw this one too when it came out in theaters.
Yeah, didn't we see it at IMAX?
Yeah, you and I saw it
interesting.
together. I think I feel the exact same way that you feel about the movie, except a little less excited about it. I didn't like the body count of the protagonists, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that does. Yeah, I could see that. I looked at it more as like a B movie.
It felt a little nihilistic.
Me too. Yeah, it was I took it as a B movie too, because I think because I brought the Wolfenstein games, which movie toasters, if you're not familiar, there's a video game series called Wolfenstein that goes very far back that tackles this subject many times. But I don't know, I like the cheese.
Corey's right though. Like if you're looking at it as an action movie, you're right. The body count of the people who are supposed to be the good guys kind of fucked up.
I think it's kind of also illustrating how bad, I don't know, I took that as how bad the situation was. Like, this is, first of all, their plane never got to the location it was supposed to. And then the place they landed happens to be, of course, this is something we've never heard of during the Allied invasion, during D-Day, because the whole facility was destroyed. But that element of, oh shit, you guys landed in the fucking worst possible place. That would be my other side of the coin to that. But I will say it, story-wise, yes, you are those horror elements start to trickle in early, like when they see their sergeant get executed in the forest. That, like, we sit there for like a good almost 2 minutes of watching this thing take place. We know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
you see the guy cornered, and yeah.
It's a personal preference of mine. I don't know, because I didn't see it as a B movie. I saw it as like a war movie.
Okay.
Like, I went in the same way I feel bad about people dying in like Saving Private Ryan or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I feel otherwise you got it right on the head. Starts off really fast, great, slows down an hour, and then it's got like those good horror elements at the end. Yeah.
Like in Saving Private Ryan, R.I.P. Vin Diesel.
Yeah, there is before Tommy, I handed off to you, there's one tidbit I felt like was worth mentioning.
Yeah.
That has to do with the plane set.
Oh,
the rig they built.
Yeah.
No, go for it, man. I was just
no, go, please.
No, I don't have it in front of me.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
yeah.
Overlord's first sequence, which sees the soldiers jumping from a burning plane, was done by rigging a plane on a gimbal, actually blowing up the front, and then tilting it as if it were actually falling through the air, sending stuntmen tumbling through real fire.
Yeah,
Dang.
Wow.
fucking
Which
cool.
is that was one of the more practical effects that the movie features. And they did more practical effects than standard CGI because they wanted to get a better reaction from the actors involved.
It totally shows too. The makeup effects I think played really well. The creatures looked cool.
Yeah.
For me personally, green light.
Oh yes.
If you're into that, if you're into the monster movies, if you're into World War II and want a combination of the two, green light.
Okay, I'll just really quickly throw in mine
There you
because
go.
I saw
I'm
American Ultra. If you haven't seen it, Jesse Eisenberg, Kristen Stewart, it's a great movie, written by Max Landis. It's good. He's like a stoner. It takes place. He's like a sleeper cell, the Ultra program, the United States.
Jason
actually
Bourne
needed
kind of
it.
guy.
Yeah, like that. And but he's a stoner, so it has this nice balance between like hardcore violent action film and like stoner comedy, like Cheech and Chong type stupid crap. And it's good. Kristen Stewart and Jesse Eisenberg are amazing, especially when they're together. Watch
The
Cafe
chemistry
Society.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know. It's good. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. You'll like it. If you like John Wick, you'll like it. It's like that. The most interesting thing for me watching it on this like third go around, oh man, what's his name? The bad guy in that movie.
Topher Grace.
Topher Grace is hilarious.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's a great movie. The interesting thing I thought about on the second go around was, so it was a good movie, but the guy who wrote it, Max Landis, he wrote Chronicle. I wasn't a fan of that, and then he got like his career kind of blossomed. And I've never really been a fan of any of his movies except American Ultra. I didn't like Bright, Chronicle.
But have you watched Mr. Right? That's by far one of my favorite movies, and he wrote it, and it kind of ties into this movie slightly.
It's interesting.
No, I haven't.
I was going to say,
it's on Netflix, Corey. You should check it out.
I'm gonna hold
It's
on.
awesome. Wait, didn't you see it over in Limley in Santa Monica?
Mr. Right?
Mr. Right with Anna Kendrick and Justin Hammer, Sam Rockwell. He's a hitman.
Oh my god, I
movie.
did see that movie.
That's written by Max Landis.
I guess I liked it at the time. I remember liking it, but it's obviously forgettable seeing as how I just did. What were you gonna say, Dennis?
Is he related to John?
He's his
yes,
son.
he's his son.
Yeah.
So I hated Chronicle, and I wondered why the fuck he just lit the fuck up after that movie came out, because I was wondering what the fuck everyone else saw.
I was on the same.
I didn't see American Ultra. I gotta admit, I actually didn't mind Bright. I'm not saying it was like amazing, but I was like, yeah, okay, that was a cool story. I'm not freaking out about it. It wasn't, but I don't think it was as bad as some people say it was. But I haven't seen, like I said, I haven't seen American Ultra, so I'm kind of curious. Given that it sounds like most everyone I've talked to who's seen it enjoyed that movie, so
yeah,
give it a shot.
I would give it a shot, Dennis. I hated Chronicle too. I actually had a problem with Dane DeHaan for a long time because of Chronicle as well. Dane DeHaan, he earned my love back when he did A Cure for Wellness.
Oh fuck that movie, man!
Not a good movie, but Dane DeHaan is on point in that movie. That movie's weird. What was I saying? But yeah, I wasn't a big of Chronicle or of American Ultra.
American Ultra.
I mean, I give it a green light. I just wanted to say something interesting. Was like, I wasn't ever a fan of Max Landis, but I would have liked to have seen like maybe a second go at Bright because it's a good concept, poorly executed. And
they are doing a sequel.
Yeah,
but it's not
but
him.
I mean, that's the thing I was going to get to is
sorry.
We're going to get a Bright 2, and I would have liked to see an American Ultra 2. I guess it had a TV show for a second or something.
Oh God. Really?
It was in the development phase. After I watched the movie, I went down this rabbit hole because I found out that Max Landis actually turned out to be not a great person and is accused by 8 women of sexual assault or rape in Hollywood.
We know a bunch of people who know him.
Yeah.
One of my old roommates had issues with him years before, and a whole fucked up situation.
Yep. I had friends that would go to parties and he sounded like a dirtbag. I've only ever heard bad things about him. So
The
You say
only
you're
good
younger
thing
than
I
me?
can say about him is his work ethic sounded amazing, but personally, sounded like a dick.
How did they
Yeah.
all know him? Just from
Uh,
parties, like you said?
Circles.
Well, different people, you know, they
Yeah.
mingle and meet people
Wow.
at
people
parties.
working on
Yeah.
sets. People like he's trying to make, there was a point in time he's trying to make his own name in the film
Mhm.
industry aside from his father's. So
Yeah, I mean, so I would have liked to have seen him continue, but I guess he's been pretty much blacklisted in Hollywood for
sense.
being a very bad individual.
yeah.
So if we so now, I mean, I have this like continuity issue. I think it needs to be written by the same person, otherwise the sequel's not going to have the same flavor. I don't know. Sometimes it does. A lot of the times it doesn't.
Yeah, well, yeah, and you never know. Maybe that's exactly what it would need to make it better. Maybe the idea, the foundation was correct. Like that's what interested you and I. But again, the execution was kind of, eh. And then maybe
Are
someone
we
else
talking
might be
about
able
Bright here, or?
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
I was
talking
talking
about
about
Bright.
Bright.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't know what the fuck. Like, they just announced this week that it's officially a go, and it's going to be an international movie. Which, like, what? It was perfect set in Los Angeles in this
That's what I
fairy
liked
tale
about it.
world.
Yeah.
Now we're going to jump to another country. I don't fucking know, but I'm
There-
hoping it
it-
might be good. I love Will Smith.
Why do we need to like? I like the idea of all of these things existing, these fantasy elements existing, and we're only seeing this local sliver
Yeah.
of what this world is like. I don't know.
I'll say a big part of that movie that made it personally one of the finer parts was David Ayer. He's fucking great with action and stuff. The director. I don't know.
All right.
Did you like?
So,
I did not like the movie. No, I
Okay.
didn't like it. But the things that I did like, I attribute to David Ayer and the charmingness of Will Smith. But it didn't work for me.
all right. So, Corey, are you ready for my question?
Yeah.
So, in American Ultra, going back to American Ultra, one of the stars, we said Kristen Stewart. You've said in the past you're a big Kristen Stewart fan. Yes?
Yeah, she's a good actress.
Name your favorite Kristen Stewart movie.
Okay.
If you had to choose one and only one.
Oh man, what's that movie she did?
Twilight.
Personal shopper.
Twilight.
See, for a long
Cafe
time
Society.
it was Personal Shopper, and I liked Personal Shopper, but all my perverted
Cafe
asshole
Society?
friends were like,
Oh,
"Oh, you just like it because she gets naked."
No, that's not.
No,
I didn't
it's
even know
not.
she got
But
naked.
if that's what I'm going to get accused of, I'm going to stop saying Personal Shopper.
no one's
Ca-
going to accuse you of that here.
I liked
Cafe
I liked
Society?
how French it was, Personal
Mm.
Shopper, and she's great in that movie. She has her, that whole kind of like standoffish, stoic acting style. I don't know, heightened the tension of Personal Shopper. My favorite movie of Kristen Stewart's is probably
Adventureland,
mm,
Cafe Society, Camp X-Ray. Like, there's a bunch in there. That
Panic Room.
Camp X-Ray was good. I think it's going to be.
Panic Room.
It's definitely it's Personal Shopper if you're not going to
Personal
give me
Shopper.
shit about it. But then probably Cafe Society.
Those
Yeah.
are two solid flares.
I think anything with her and Jesse Eisenberg is up there with me.
Yeah, they're really
Her-
good together. I don't
Yeah.
know why.
Mhm.
I don't know if they're friends in real life or what,
And-
but
Have you ever gotten around to the new Charlie's Angels yet, or are you just aboard
I
in that
haven't
like to
seen
play?
haven't
that
seen it.
movie's got. I did not see it in theaters, and it got smacked so hardcore by everybody else that I had other stuff to do and I didn't get to see it. I will get around to seeing it.
Yeah, me too.
She really gets
that's
to
not-
flex her comedy muscles in it, I think.
It's interesting
Oh.
with that movie because I'm gonna have a real want to see Kristen Stewart too good, and I'm gonna like not want to see Elizabeth Banks too good.
No, all right. Other question: did you see Underwater yet?
No, I will
Oh, dude,
watch.
no,
I
that
wanna
that's
too.
see
great.
that too.
She's kick ass in that movie.
One of
She's
you
great
wa-
in everything.
One of you watched Underwater and made
I
it sound
did.
horrible.
Oh, I didn't. If I did that, that was not on purpose. It was a great movie.
Oh, it was. Someone said it
Yeah.
was like Alien, and then someone said that movie sucked. and
No,
then-
I don't like Alien, but I like this movie.
Yeah, that's what you're
Oh,
thinking.
okay.
Adam was, yeah.
Okay,
Adam was
so I'm
being
gonna go
Adam
watch a bunch of
with
Kristen
Alien.
Stewart movies now.
And at
Okay.
the
All right.
end of the month, she has a pretty kick-ass movie coming to Netflix. It looked kick-ass. I didn't see it because it's playing at the Mouse Theater. It's called Seaberg. or Sebring, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
Mouse
Be
Theater.
kick-ass.
Sorry.
The Mouse Theater. What's the mouse? Oh,
The
the one.
theater.
That, oh,
Yeah.
the one that had the mouse in it. Oh, that's funny.
Multiple mice. Multiple mice.
But no, this movie I really wanted to see, and it's coming out on Amazon Prime Video for
Nice.
free. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what that has to do with shit.
Tommy, word on the street is that you cut a tidbit from Overlord for time's sake.
Yeah, I was gonna wait till we ended the episode, then we could have edited that part in. But if we're doing it this way,
We've
that's
just
fine.
arrived
We've just
at
arrived.
that time.
Well, this one was really fascinating to me, and I think I've never seen Overlord, but I'm sure anyone that's seen Overlord would maybe it hits home with them. I don't know, but during its development, many people speculated that Overlord was secretly the fourth entry in the Cloverfield franchise.
Yeah.
Despite J.J. Abrams later announcing at a Cinecon presentation that the film would not be related and would instead be its own standalone film. Despite that, a handful of fans still theorize that Overlord may actually still be linked to the Cloverfield universe.
I can tell you, haven't seen it, and I'm sure the other guys will back me up. It has nothing to do with that. There's nothing that like references it. It's
Okay.
it
They're not
exists in-
space creatures.
Good to know.
Yeah.
John
It's-
Goodman's not in it. T.J. Miller's not in it.
I mean,
TJ Miller plays a paratrooper. No.
Yeah.
No. John Goodman plays a Nazi. No. There's it's nothing like that. It is its own movie.
Got it.
I thought yeah.
I'm sorry, Dennis. Go ahead.
No, it's like that was it. I feel like some people might try to interpret that there might be a sequel based on what they say at the end, but if you just know fucking world history, you know there isn't a sequel.
So there is
know what
something at
happens
the
next.
end. There is
No.
something that happens at the. Oh, I thought you just said there was.
The point I'm saying is you could possibly interpret like people trying to dig might think that there's something at the end.
Okay,
They're just talking about the end of World War II.
got it. All right.
So Corey, what were you saying? Remember what?
I was gonna say, remember that one year during the Super Bowl they dropped a Cloverfield movie on
Cloverfield
Netflix?
Paradox.
That was a horrible movie,
On
and
Netflix?
that marketing strategy was
It was
really
weird.
annoying.
I
I'm
didn't
glad they
mind it,
never
but
did
it's
that
also
again.
I don't remember it. Like
Yeah.
It just like they're like, hey, after the Super Bowl, turn on Netflix and watch this. I thought it was kind of clever, but I heard the movie was shit, so I didn't give it a chance.
It
I
was.
only ever watched the first Cloverfield.
I thought it was okay. It's like it. It was funny that it's not the type the way they decided to present the story. This isn't a perspective I would have thought to want to see. So it made me just kind of wonder. It's like, oh, so you want now we get to see this whole experience removed completely and watch these people try to avoid it. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't super.
But it sounds like
memorable.
Corey has a different take.
Which one? Which of them? I haven't
Cloverfield
liked.
Paradox.
I didn't like any of them, to be fully honest with you.
Fair enough.
Oh,
I thought I liked the
Actually,
first one.
I liked
but
the
I
gold.
didn't.
I liked the one with
10 Cloverfield.
10 Cloverfield Lane.
with 10
was
Cold.
that
easily
one
the
was
best.
great.
But that's like they
I
That
did
just
was
see
a great.
that was a great movie, and then they like strapped the Cloverfield.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I think it
J.J.
could have been great on
Abrams,
its own.
he's like very business savvy. Like, I mean, it would have been great by itself without
Oh, yeah.
slapping the franchise name on there. I mean,
Yeah.
They could have
It
called
was
it
a
I can
like
great
10
thriller. You
10
didn't need that
Springfield
last
Lane.
15 minutes.
They didn't have to call it 10 Cloverfield Lane. It could have been
No.
any lane and on its own, and it would have been great.
It could have been
Yeah.
just titled John Goodman's House. And it would have been
That would get
amazing.
my money right
Yeah.
away.
Dude, John Goodman was amazing in that movie. Holy moly!
Yeah.
John Goodman's amazing in everything.
Everything.
Anyway, fellas,
Even
Yeah.
in Hangover 3.
Red State.
Ah!
Mm.
King Ralph.
he's good in all of those.
Oh my god. Okay.
Flintstones.
You can't hold John Goodman responsible for bad films.
No, you think I'm being sarcastic with my answers, but I love John
not.
Goodman in
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Have you guys seen him as Babe Ruth?
Yeah, the Babe.
The Babe? Yeah.
The
Yeah.
babe.
On this
Good
week's
movie.
episode of John's Goodman's.
John's
Goodman.
Goodman.
John's Goodman.
John's back. He's like, guys, I have Goodman's here. Let's talk about
Oh,
them."
All his favorite John Goodman movies and
Oh,
favorite episodes of
he
Roseanne.
would totally do it too. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
All right, guys.
Damn the Connors.
Let's just let's just end on all this John Goodman stuff. Everything was bullshit this week, so why not end it there? Anybody? I guess this is the part where we're obliged to say things like and subscribe.
Please.
Slam the like button. Hit the notification bell.
Point.
Tell us how we did.
Sleep with your second cousin.
No.
Whoa.
Find us on Reddit. Find us on Twitter. Find us on Instagram.
Discord.
Get at
It's
us.
like
Chat
Waldo.
with us. Yeah,
Chat with
please.
us on Discord.
Chat with us
Everyone
if you
steal my
want to.
catchphrases. I said it
We're
too
stuck
low this
on
week.
coronavirus lockdown, so
There-
Please
folks-
stay home, stay healthy.
There are many bread-themed film review podcasts, but we are the only movie toast.
Guys, if you gotta choose one, listen to Cinema Toast Crunch. I hear those guys are swell.
Get the fuck out of here.
I thought it was.
Nah.
my
Please
God.
enjoy this
I thought it was
after the
Movie Toast
episode
Crunch.
babble. We're
Steak
going to
house
talk
steak.
to you about cereal.
All right.
It was
Good night,
silly.
everybody.
What an episode.